All right, babies, it's that time again. Oh, yeah. Sitting here listening to my friends, the birds. Oh, yeah, baby. And I don't mean Roger McGuinn. Sorry. It's a highly overrated band. Some good harmonies, but the songs overall, not interesting. So as I'm listening to the birds, it's just reminding me of a number of things, right? When you have God's mind, you appreciate things on different levels, like simultaneously. And if you're not experiencing that, you're really not. You're really not using what you could have been given, because I can't assume everyone's been given the mind of God, because it takes some faith in the fullness of Jesus' sacrifice to get there. But just now, just like listening to these birds, the strong, repetitive, sort of monotonous sound, that's a house sparrow. And house sparrows are very territorial and can be pretty aggressive. So unfortunately, they're not a favorite. But just overall appreciating life around us as it is expressed and observed. I mean, you can't really appreciate something if you're not observing it, right? But it's always there. There's always some form of life. And when it comes to birds, it's often what I take as a playful energy. You know, swooping through the air and moving in sharp angles, and then in one moment a complete stop and a landing on a branch or somewhere. It just sounds like God to me. It looks like God. It sounds like God. That right there, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, that's a titmouse. He's around all year long and cute as a button. He's got a little tuft of hair like I do. But he sings much more convincingly. I just get a kick out of him because he's so simple. Now, when he is alarmed, he has sort of a noisy sort of crackle. But when he's doing this, I mean, that's pretty much what he does. So I just appreciate what God does. Like just now, I was turning the corner, and I saw this beautiful purple flowered bush with a backdrop of, deep green that's currently growing right now. And I was just like, oh, Beautiful. Oh, love it. And you know that's no accident. That's God being the master painter that he is. But the reason I'm saying all of this is because I'm convinced that God is honored when we slow down and take the time to be appreciative of his creation, which is not just in what I've mentioned. It's also in who we are. After we've accepted Jesus, that noisy little guy, danner, 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 that's a Carolina wren. He's a little guy, but he's got a set of lungs on him. So in the fullness of life, we find ourselves questioning, wondering, and we can get lost in that wondering if we don't celebrate the fullness of life that we share. We share it because we know the love of God given to us in the cross of Jesus. I would love nothing more than to have an impact on atheists' lives. For them to see that God both honors their refusal to believe in him because of various misrepresentations over the centuries, but also their emergent faith in who Jesus is, which doesn't negate all of their research about how the Gospels were influenced by myths, or how people's ideas of Christianity were influenced by myths. You can have all of that. And to me, it gives evidence of honoring God that he's given us a mind to use. But then that mind is also prescient enough to know that there are realms of reality that transcend that sort of scrutiny. And that sort of scrutiny is so much less important than us connecting with the Spirit of God. Because when we connect with the Spirit of God, then we can and be free in how our mind operates. And we can use certain discoveries and observations that align perfectly with what we're hearing the Spirit say. So all of life is joyful. All of life is beautiful, in spite of the horrors in the world of people not operating in their true abilities to transcend themselves. In spite of all that, the world is waiting for us to emerge and release into the atmosphere, so to speak, the reality of God, so that all those atheists and agnostics and doubters out there can have evidence that God is alive, He's true, He's palpable, He's loving, He's knocking at the door of their hearts. Oh yeah, baby. I can't wait to see more and more atheists turn their hearts to God. It's a lovely thing.